Right. I hope that you can hear me. I know you can't see me just yet, but I'm sort of hoping that you can hear me. Can anybody hear me? Is there any, it's a bit like a seance. Is there anybody out there? Boom. Ah! I've got my phone on as well. Might I just turn that off? Hello? Right. Oh, you can hear us. Brilliant. Seance with intellady. Right. Hopefully you can see me now as well, because I switched my camera on. That was deliberate, by the way. I thought, right, I'll just actually get the stream running first, and then I'll switch my camera on. Woohoo! Are we all able to hear and to see? This is good. This is good. I'm going to keep going from looking at you to looking at the chat to making sure that you're all here and that you can hear me. Right. Welcome everyone. I should have introduced myself before I switched the camera on. I should have done like a please welcome to the stage. Intellady. Anyway, moment's gone now. Welcome everybody, and this is, I've not done a live stream since, was it just before no, it was New Year's Eve, wasn't it, that I did the last live stream? I think it was, and it was celebrating New Year's Eve and also 20,000 subscribers. I think it was. And I said next live stream, hopefully it'll be 25. And last month, I think it was last month, I hit 25,000 subscribers, which is, I know, small fish to some YouTubers. It's not really a big thing, but for me it's huge, massive. And considering this time last year I had roughly 4,000 subscribers, a year later I'm at 25,000, so that is huge. It's a massive achievement for me, and I wanted to celebrate that with all of you because it's you that got me here. So we're doing a live stream. So I'm going to look at the chat in a minute because I know quite a few of you are coming in now, so I don't look like Billy No Mates just talking into a camera. Let's see. First of all, huge hello and thank you to my mods, who tonight are the wonderful Stephen Hall, the amazing Caroline, and lovely Maria. Where have you gone, Maria? I know she came in. And Armistice. Thank you very, very much for coming and being my mods tonight. I really, really appreciate it. Hilariously, back in the day, over a year ago, there used to be more mods in my chat than anyone else, which we all used to giggle about. So it's nice to see so many people have come in, and I'll say hello to people. What I actually need to do is put my reading glasses on, because otherwise I'm going to miss things. Right. So yes, hello to my lovely mods. Hi Peter and Leslie. Hello Richard. Hi Chia Maria. Who else have we got? Kathy. Hi John. Kev. Ruth. Starlight Gaze. Peregrine. Cass. Kevin. I've got Mike. Paul. Shrugs. Warwick, Marion, Michael, Delta 7, Rick. Hi, oh, another mod in. Hi Rick. Thank you very much to Rick for doing this. I've got a few backgrounds that I can use, and he did my thumbnail as well. Much appreciated. Hi Derek. Right, I think I've said hello to all of you. So let me just go over what we're going to do. Take those off now. What we're going to do tonight. So we're doing a bit of an AMA. So if you have a question that you want to ask me, I mean, I've said it, AMA, ask me anything. You can ask me anything you want, really. within reason, you know, don't be rude, don't be too blue. And then afterwards, when we've got into it a bit and we've chatted a lot, then I'll start taking requests for my characters, the ones that I do. So don't go like randomly shouting out celebrities that I don't cover, because I probably won't. I mean, I could give it a go, but who knows. So that's how it's going to work. And I like, you know, to involve everybody. And I also, if I miss you, it's not deliberate. Sometimes when I'm going sort of, I'm scrolling up and down the chat just in case, and I always do it. It's probably an age thing. I will miss comments from people from time to time, and it really isn't me snobbing you, so please don't think that. Hi, Loafer Sheffield, you just come in. And yes, it is indeed a Teletubbies inspired background, because it all feels a bit like we're in some kind of trippy children's television show sometimes, doesn't it? Especially with everything going on in the world right now. So why not? So what I'm going to do when I am changing and stuff, I will turn my camera off. I'm just going to show you now so you don't think that I'm having like a thing. So I will switch my camera off if I'm like moving around and stuff and switching wigs out and things. Then you just, you know, you look at the lovely Teletubbies background. And then I think I've got another one here. Oh, look who it is, gang. So we're going to talk about this person, haven't we? And my merch. Oh, sad times. My merch has been depleted because somebody got the ump with their mug on a smug mug and had to remove from the store. So if you do have a smug mug, as I said in the video that I put out this week, it's now limited edition. I actually should have put my tea in the smug mug. That was a bit silly of me. But yeah, so the smug mugs are no more. But our Rick is going to redesign some mug merch for those of you who want to get in on the intellady mug action. Right, should we turn him off? How do I do that? Oh, that's the sea. I like to be. That's where I wish I was. With all of you, of course. God, what a great holiday that would be. It would be a bit crazy, wouldn't it? Right, I'm going to go and look back in the chat and say hello to people because I can see people are coming in and I don't want to miss anyone. Hi, Kyle. Right. Oh, I've got some questions coming in. Johnny, high five. Can you tell us a bit about yourself and how you came to be doing this? I love your satire and humour. Johnny, high five. Thank you for your question, Johnny. Well, I've been doing this since 2021. I have been hiding, I suppose, in a tiny little corner of YouTube, and no one really noticed that I was there. But I started doing this because obviously 2020 happened, didn't it? And out of 2020 came all the weird stuff, and people obviously spending more time online. People got sucked into some very strange rabbit holes, and you get sucked into strange rabbit holes when the media are knowingly lying to you, and everyone's sussed out that the media's lying to you. So you look for your information elsewhere, don't you? And I think we all did that a little bit. However, some people got sucked into the strangest rabbit holes with the strangest individuals who were telling them all sorts of things. And what they would do is they would tell them an obvious piece of truth, you know, 10% truth, and then there'd be 90% lies underneath it. And within those 90% of lies is paywalls and major grifting. So I'd come across quite a few of these. I was aware of some of these characters because I love a bit of ufology, and I was into all of that. And ufology and conspiracy kind of go hand in hand. So I stumbled across a lot of characters, and after a while I started to think, hang on a minute, I think these people are talking an awful lot of nonsense. And so I started to call them out, and then I ended up doing parodies based on them. So I would slightly change the names, but I would make parodies of all the crap that they were saying. For example, med beds, people talking about, oh, med beds are coming, and you know, the Galactic Federation of Light has joined together and brought med beds, and they're in all these underground military installations just waiting to be used. So obviously, you know, nonsense. And also a new financial system. So people were lying and saying there was a Nasara Jasara or quantum, what was it? The quantum financial system, the QFS. All lies. I got sick of these people, so I started parodying them. And then little sort of niche groups of people who were watching them, who were aware of them, and who were found them a bit suspect, started joining my channel. And then we just had this little community. This is a very long bloody winded story, isn't it? We had a little community basically, and after a while I started looking at more mainstream grifters and celebrities who were just ridiculous. Like I followed the Amber Heard Johnny Depp trial, so I parodied that. Started to parody politicians both over here and stateside, and yeah, and then the politics sort of stuck. I got sick of the grifters. They were driving me nuts. I know they're all probably still going. They're all still lying and selling all of these ridiculous products. I would love to hear from people who are still watching those grifters to find out what they're doing, actually, because I haven't been watching for a while. So yeah, so then it became, well, I mean, politicians are the biggest grifters of all, aren't they? So I thought I started focusing more on them. So now I focus more on politicians and ridiculous celebrities, stupid cult-like things in society, all the sort of nonsense that we have to deal with day to day, the hypocrisy, and I try and make satire out of it to try and at least bring a bit of humour into what could be an incredibly miserable time for a lot of people at the moment, because everyone's very, very frustrated with what we're dealing with right now. What a flipping, sorry, long-winded answer to your question. Johnny's probably gone, bloody hell, all right. That's enough of that. And then G7LWT asks, where did the name intellady come from? So it was back from covering those conspiracy grifters. They all had intel. That was one of their patterns, was that they all had insiders and intel. And I created a character. She's this character here. My finger there. And she is there. The idea of her was she was MI5 paid asset hotline, right? And the grifters would call her up, and she would feed them a load of total garbage to put out to their followers. And so then Intel Lady was born. That's what I called her. She's the intel lady, and the idea is she doesn't have any intel. She knows absolutely nothing. She's literally just making it all up and then feeding it to. It's like Chinese whispers. Oh, you're probably not allowed to say Chinese whispers anymore, are you? But it's like, you know, garbage. So that's where intel lady came from. So it's the idea of, well, she knows nothing. What she doesn't know about absolutely nothing ain't worth knowing. That's basically what I said about her. And I think that's true of me in life, really. What do I know, eh? What do I know? Do I know anything? Probably not. You know, the older I get, the more I realise I don't really know anything. So there you go. Right. Honesty and truth. I need to address that. If you put in a super chat, thank you so much, and I will address it straight away. Sorry, glasses back on. Oh, this is going to be a bit of a yo-yo night. Glasses on, glasses off. Does Orange cry when kittens die or pensioners? Sorry for the depressing question. Love your work. Keep going. the government today are, as yes, they are. Thank you very much, honesty and truth. She might cry when kittens die. I don't know, she might do. I don't think she's bothered when the pensioners die, because let's face it, the pensioners aren't going to really vote for Labour's, are they? So they can just do one as far as Labour's concerned. Probably. I'm sure Angela will come out properly later. That's not me being Angela. That's just, you know, me answering the question. But thank you, honesty and truth. If you do leave me a super chat and I don't see it and acknowledge it, the chat, please just let me know. Give me a shout. Because you know what, when I go off on one, you've just experienced me going off on one and waffling and telling you a story. And in the process of that, a super chat came through and I managed to notice it because it was bright yellow. So thank you. Right, let me spin back. Oh my God, guys, back on again. Crying out loud. It's going to be a long night, gang. I hope you're hunkering down for the night, folks, because it could be a long night. Patrick Baitman says, why comply? Oh, about the mugs. Because they shut our shop. That was why, because the shop was temporarily put on hold until we took the items that they'd complained about off, leaving my Us Labour's t-shirts as the only thing in my shop now. Now, wonderful Rick is in the process of designing new things for the merch shop. Hopefully some cool mugs for you. It's a real shame. But there you go. We'll get fabulous things in. 100 in the chat. That's awesome. My thing needs to update because it's not telling me that there's 100 in the chat. Right, okay. Ronaldo, copyright strike. Well, I don't know that it was a copyright strike, but I can't remember what the wording was of the complaint because I don't Rick deals with the merch side of things and he goes back and forth via email. I don't, so I don't really know quite what was said, but I know that they locked it down until we took the mugs off. How ridiculous is that? Peregrine, the smug mug is hilarious. I came up with the idea of the words smug mug, just not how it would look. Rick made it look good, but I came up with the words for it, and yeah, there you go. Will there be bone china mugs? Asked David. I don't think so. I don't think so. Evening, William. Mike OD, we need a ginger growler mug. How horrifying. Mike, that's horrifying. I don't think of anything worse. Hi Maria, you're in. Eugene. Good evening, Angela Raina. Angela, as a fellow... you need to ask Angela when she comes out. And she will. She will, in a bit. Also, help old lady eyes here. If you have got questions, it would be awesome if you could put them in capital letters. Because they stand out a bit more and then I won't brush past them as easily. Right. Hi, Dan. Hi, Kev. Why wasn't Angela asked to go into space with Katy Perry? Or has she and her fellow Labour's got their own... Probably got their own private rocket, Kev. I would imagine it's probably their own private... What a ridiculous... Let's talk about this space thing. Oh my... it's just hard to know where to begin with how absolutely ridiculous. They did not go to space. They went to like high altitude, didn't they? Because nothing burnt up when it came back down. It sort of landed with a bit of a bump and they all screamed like lunatics. And I can't imagine anything worse than being stuck in a capsule with those women. How absolutely horrifying. There's not enough earplugs or noise cancelling headphones in the world that would have made that journey better. I'd be like 11 minutes. And also, why were they all like looking at, you know, flowers and words? And I'd be glued to the window. I'd be looking for UFOs. That's where I would be. I would not be like checking myself out and all of this. what are you doing? If you really are going up into space, then look at it. You know, don't look at each other and be, oh, I love your makeup today. Shut up! Look out the window, stupid bloody women. Honestly, don't put me in a capsule with people like that. I'd end up wondering more. It'd just be me left coming back down again. I'd be actually begging for, you know, for the bad aliens to come. Just to take them all out. Hi, James. Right. Matthew Strange. Anyone who sees through a Raine is very astute and critical of thought. Yeah. Hi, Jupiter. David Lee. Hi from New Zealand. Love your posts. Thank you, David Lee. I have relatives in New Zealand, South Island. Right. Jim, when is your volume low or my ears wrong? Jim, testing. Can everyone hear me okay? I did say that at the start, but I think my volume's okay because I did test all of that. Right. Sad Dad Drummer. Hello. How far would you love your career to go? Theatre tour, TV show, or are you happy with YouTube and comedy clubs? You really are that good to be another Catherine Tate. Well, that is very, very kind of you, and I take that as a huge compliment to even have her name and my name in the same sentence. I would love to get back into acting, and that's what I used to do before I had children. I would love to act again. I don't know. I think that ship has probably sailed because of the world we now live in, and it's very, very clear that I am not into all the woke stuff, and the theatre world is absolutely saturated with that, as well as television. I love theatre. Theatre was my thing. Theatre is all I ever wanted to do. I couldn't have cared less about getting into movies or TV. TV for the money, yes, but for me it was always theatre. So to be able to do theatre would be amazing. I did have a few years of it before I stopped to start my family. Not as much as I would have wanted. That would have been great. I am loving doing the comedy clubs. That has been incredible. The fact that I was even asked to do comedy club, I will never forget the people that gave me that leg up back onto to a stage, doing something I have never done before. I have never done stand-up comedy before, and that was terrifying for me, even though I'm doing characters. So technically it's kind of it's still acting, isn't it? It's still stage acting, but I'm not scripted, so I'm just sort of standing there and opening my mouth and hoping that what comes out is entertaining and funny. But the fact that people have actually given me a chance to do that is incredible, and I'm still sort of in shock about that. I'm in shock about a lot of things that have happened to me in the last 6 months with regards my intellady stuff. I really wasn't expecting anything. I even met a famous actress who I absolutely admire, who wanted to see me, and I went to see her in a show, and she said, can I take a photo with you? And honestly, it was the weirdest thing. I was like, this should be, yeah, it was crazy and amazing to meet her and to have her tell me that she really likes my work. It was crazy. Honestly, I'm loving it, and I'm appreciating every minute of it, because you know, you can fall as quickly as you rise. And yes, I've been doing this since 2021 as in intellady, but it could end like that. So I'm just enjoying every minute. Right, I've got another super chat coming. Sorry, let me find that. Jupiter, will Ange legislate to ensure that men in dresses can once again access women's spaces? And would Ange like to take a rocket trip with Lammy? I think that would be a tough rocket trip, wouldn't it? They'd need extra oomph to get Lammy up with all that extra chicken he keeps eating. I don't know. I think she will fall on whatever side she's told to fall on. I think this is the thing about politicians, isn't it? Are there any genuine ones? I think they just do what they're told. That, you know, say what we tell you to say, even if they don't want to say. I mean, you know, look how they were all so, before Trump won, they were all so, you know, anti-Trump, and then suddenly it's all, you know, oh, we're so pleased to be working with Trump. So that's an interesting change of tune. So they do as they want. But thank you very much, Jupiter, for that. Really appreciate that. Right. Let me go back through. Sorry. See, this is how it's going to be for a little bit. Spinning back. Where are we? Ronaldo, buying that mug off eBay for £100. What is Gerald going to do? Penny asks. Now that Just Stop Oil has ceased operation, are his bladder worries over? Well, Penny, look, Just Stop Oil might have ceased operation, but Marjorie and the gang are going nowhere. They're having none of this. They won't stop. They will never. In fact, you can ask Marjorie yourself, because I've no doubt she'll be out later. She's itching to tell you how it is, frankly. Super chats come in from Peter Hubbard. We love you, Jen. Oh, thank you, Peter. I'm really looking forward to meeting you later in the year, and the lovely Leslie as well. Thank you so much. I really, really appreciate that. If you have sent me a super chat, by the way, you get a request. I mean, anyone can make a request, but I'll give you priority. So please tell me who you want to see. Okay. Paul Burrows asks, hey Ange, what does Lammy think of High Court ruling? I know some. Well, Paul. We'll talk to we will ask Angela that question. I think that's something Angela is going to want to address directly, because he's very upset. But there's a story with that. Mike Triggs says maybe Lord Ali could arrange a trip into space for the entire Labour front bench. Hopefully a one-way trip. That would be no good for me though, would it? I'd be devastated. Right. Okay. Everyone says that they can hear me, so that's good. I'm sorry, John Griffin, that you can't. But I think that it might be an issue your end, maybe. Right. John Arnold says a bloke jumped out of a balloon and parachuted from almost as high as the bimbos in space. When bimbos in space. Was that Muppets that did the pigs in space? Derek says he looks intelligent with glasses, lass. Thank you very much. It's completely fake because I'm not intelligent at all. Peregrine says, Peregrine says, you've been comedy gold with the script and timing many, many, many times. Thank you. Oh, I appreciate that. Sean, just want to say thank you very much for all your great videos. Thank you, Sean. And Mike Trigg says exactly what I said. There isn't a rocket built that will get Lammy into space. Quite right there. Steve is having issues with volume as well. Check 1 2 1 2 testing. Can you all hear me? I thought we got that sorted. Howard says you're probably the funniest YouTube channel I watch. Keep up the great work. That's nice. There are loads of funny YouTube channels though, Howard. Absolutely loads. But thank you. It's nice to be part of it. Bob Hunter says DEI is dead. Thank you, Donald. Well, I mean, yeah. Michael Hammond says Marjorie could switch to Just Stop Hoyle and all his taxpayer funded holidays. I think we could start that. I don't know where Marjorie and the gang stand though with that, because they have probably voted Labour, wouldn't they? Right. George says, I really like Sadik. Will you be bringing him back? Is he also an actor? He's coming back. I'm making him come back next week, actually. He's not very happy about it. Yeah. Yes, he is coming back. Yeah, I've got some ideas. And yes, he will be coming back. He's always there, is our Sadik, because he's the one that edits all of the videos. Right. So it's Sir Sadik, yes. Right. Hi Scotland Scorpion. Right. Okay. Everyone's saying they can hear me, so okay. Everyone. Rick says everyone turning up the hearing aid. Right. Okay. Yeah, it might have been a glitch your end. Maybe it was a glitch your end. Right. Sadik, Rick says, Sadik messaged me and said he can't make it next week. Everybody shout at Sadik in the comments, please. Sorry, everybody shout at Rick in the comments, please, because he will be made to come next week. Has Marjorie praised the astronauts? I'm sure she hasn't. Is Sadik an acting mate of yours from your acting days? No, he is not. Actually, no. He isn't an actor at all. Is Sadik, is our Sadik. He's behind the camera. So he's been with me since the start of intellady, and he doesn't particularly like being in front of the camera. He doesn't mind his voice being used, because I did loads of, back in the day when I was covering the grifters, I did a series called Confessions of a Driving Instructor. And did I call it? Yeah, God, it's so long ago. I think it was Confessions of a Driving Instructor. And he was the one doing the documentary style, asking me all the questions and stuff. So he didn't mind his voice being used. Didn't want to be on camera until I forced him to be Sadik on. I'm so mean. Okay, I think, and I've got another super chat. Honesty and truth. Thank you very much. Would our Ange like to feel a Scotsman's? Would she be happy with dealing with it and negotiating? Could she cope and not faint? What is the answer? A dirk is a dagger in the Scots sock. She'd be well up for it. Yeah, no, she would. She'd be well up for it. Honesty and truth. Are you Scottish? I don't know. Answer in the comments. Right. Richard English says, who are your comedy heroes? Oh my gosh. I have so many. Where to start? Okay, so British. Obviously Victoria Wood. Total legend. I'm getting notes shoved through the door at the moment. Something about my microphone. Oh, okay, right. I'll see if I can sort the mic situation out in a moment. Just bear with me. Okay. Victoria Wood, amazing. I was brought up on some sort of old school stuff. So anything that was sort of big in the 70s, and there was rerun, because they used to rerun a lot, didn't they? So things like Are You Being Served, all the carry-ons were on just about every weekend. There used to be a carry-on usually like BBC Two or something. So carry-on movies, all the classics. Gosh, and then moving through the 90s, all of the really popular ones in the 90s, like First Show. Loved Father Ted. Huge honour that Graham Linehan started following me on X. Couldn't believe that. I had to sit down when he started following me. Oh God, there's so many classics and so many incredible comedians, both doing, you know, in shows and doing stand up as well. Never underestimate the incredible stand up of Robin Williams as well. My God, he wasn't just amazing in the shows and movies he was casting, he was an amazing stand up comedian as well. Uh, so many to mention. I do like more modern stuff. I love Tyler Fisher, is my favourite stand up at the moment, stateside. I wish he would come over and do Comedy Unleashed, because Comedy Unleashed would love Tyler Fisher. He's absolutely brilliant. Right, obviously Alan Partridge, brilliant, brilliant. Oh, there's so much. I probably missed absolutely tons. Someone's written, Jess has written Bernard Manning. One of my favourite jokes, I believe, is actually a Bernard Manning joke, and it's one of those jokes that I intend to use on haters, and it was a class. I'm sure it was a Bernard Manning. It was a classic "my mother-in-law" joke, and it was I don't know quote for quote, but it went something like, "My mother-in-law said, I can't wait until you die. When you die, I'm gonna piss on your grave." And he says, "Oh, I hope you do. I'm getting buried at sea." Brilliant. I'm going to use that on the haters. If I get a "when you die, I'm going to piss on your grave," I'm 100% saying, "I hope you do. I'm getting buried at sea." Classic. It's a classic. You don't ever ignore the classics. Les Dawson. And see, now you're all jumping in with the most amazing. Yeah, I saw Dave Chappelle a couple of years ago. Brilliant. I liked Bill Hicks as well. Now I'm going to have to go back up. Yeah, I bloody love that. I'm sure that's a Bernard Manning joke. I might be wrong. I hope I'm not wrong. But yeah, I've got another super chat that I need to say thank you. Oh my goodness, how do I even go about pronouncing your name? Thank you. I believe you sent me 15 euros. Thank you. You are great. Thank you so much. Well, thank you very much for your generous super chat. I really appreciate it. And another one from Perine. May I ask for a future Caroline Levitt White House press? She is feisty, isn't she? The possibilities are endless with the journo put down like yes, yeah. She certainly knows how to put them in their place. I did do Jen Psaki when she was press secretary for Biden. You'd probably have to scooch way back on my videos, but yeah, I did do Jen. I called her Jen Snarky. Right, Marcus says, I will go back up, but I've just spotted one that's come in. Intellady, you've really helped to get me over my ex. I shouldn't laugh. Who looks like a prettier version of her. I don't really know how to take that, or if that's a joke, but it made me laugh. Jen Psaki looked like, yes, Jay, yes. Right, sorry, I need to scroll back up again because I think I've absolutely missed loads. Of course, John Cleese. Of course, John. I mean, good grief! Just all the Monty Python stuff, and of course, Faulty Towers. My God, Faulty Towers was bloody amazing. Right. Dave Allen, are you musical? I do play the guitar, Dave. Badly. Very badly. I just I don't play well. I talk like I play it all the time. I don't. I should pick my guitars back up. They're on our walls now, my guitars. It's a bit naughty, really. They've become wall decor instead of actually being played, which is not what guitars are for. Chia Maria, I absolutely adored Keeping Up Appearances. I would recommend anyone go back and re-watch Keeping Up Appearances. Put your teeth in. Patricia Routledge is one of my most favourite actors of all time. She is incredible, and I mean, she's an incredible theatre actress, is Patricia. But Hyacinth Bouquet is one of those iconic characters that you can't not find hilarious and genius. She put everything into that. As a theatre, you could tell she's a theatre actress with how she is, with just a little tiny little facial little nuances of just genius brilliance that she puts into her characters. And every character she plays is incredible, but Hyacinth Bouquet was written beautifully. Everybody that was cast in Keeping Up Appearances was incredible. All of them, every single actor in that show was amazing, and I could watch it over and over and not get bored. It's one of those shows that will never bore me. Right, God, I've gone up and down, and I've probably lost absolutely loads. Right. Patrick Baitman. Oh, so okay, that's a very. I hope Rick's reading these comments, because Rick was here for a bit. I don't know if he's still here. But Patrick says he's so funny when he adjusts his crown and talks in an unnatural way. I think he's superb. He really makes me laugh. I presume you're talking about our Rick, our Sadik. I'd like to see Ange offer some tips for perimenopausal women with pelvic floor problems, says Gracie. I'm not sure anyone wants to see that. Right. Has anyone, apart from that certain radio show presenter, complained about your show? Asked Joy. I don't know that he's complained about the show, but either someone who likes him or he himself blocked me from selling merch with his mug on. But I don't know that anyone's complained. I mean, although my TikTok is definitely shadow banned now, because I put up the same video 3 separate times, and all 3 times changing tags, changing all sorts, changing mentions, everything. It's the only person that can see the video is me, and it's on 0. So I know I'm shadow banned, because whenever I've said to someone, go into TikTok, can you see this video? They're like, nope, it's not there. So there you go. Oh no, I almost accidentally did something I shouldn't have done then. Tamsin says it's good to see. Oh God, glasses. I'm not that blind, but my eyes start to go really if I don't put my glasses on. It's good to see lots of our Ange. What about more of our Jess as well? Definitely, Tamsin, it's coming. Give me a little bit of time with our Jess, because I want to just polish her a bit more before I put her out more. I can do her accent, but I can't sustain it for long enough to be able to do a full sketch with her, and that bugs me so much. So until I've got it where I want it, then she might make some cameos, but we'll see where it goes. But I do want to keep covering her, because I've got the wig and the giant hoops. Look, I've got the, you couldn't see them well with the green screen and stuff, but I've got the giant hooped Jess earrings there. So I would never wear those kinds of earrings, so you know, I've got to do it now, haven't I? Hi Sophie Parsons. I really hope, and no one thinks I'm ignoring them, but this is what happens, especially if I get talking, get answering a question, or I go to look at a super, I get distracted with a super chat, and then yeah. Debbie, hello Debbie, asks, do you like Miranda? She makes me laugh out loud. I believe the old British comedies were a big influence for her. Yes, I think they were, and yes, I do. Yeah, she doesn't really do anything anymore though, does she? It's a shame. She had a brilliant run. If you hadn't been shadow banned, you'd have 50,000 plus subscribers by now, says Marcus. Well, yeah, it's weird, isn't it? And annoying, but there you go. Right. Peter, absolutely love your videos. Love Reeves and Raina. Haven't done Reeves in a while, have I? Can't really do her on a live stream. Okay. Right, I'm going to move my mic a little bit closer to see if that makes a difference. I've got to be careful not to knock my lights or anything. Let me just move the mic a little bit closer. Right, the mic is a little bit closer now. Let me just turn it up a little bit. Oh no, I turned it down. Turn it up. Right, can you hear me a bit better? Are we good? Can you hear me? I can't read that. Okay. How are we doing? Is that better, folks? I mean, you know, let's hope I don't go all Hyacinth Bouquet and start doing operatic singing. Then you'll bloody know about it if I've turned it up too loud. Right, good, excellent. I think we're good. I see a lot of yeses. Ouch, my ears. Have I got, now is it too bloody loud? For God's sake. Have we gone from the sublime to the ridiculous? Right, okay. That's like 50% louder. Oh, good. Excellent. Thank you. I apologise then. I should have bloody moved my mic earlier on. The Jedster. Thank you very much, the Jedster. Have you got any more gigs lined up? And when will you be coming to the Northwest? I do have a gig coming up in the next few weeks. I'm doing Comedy Unleashed again, but I'm doing it in London. Now, I have done Comedy Unleashed in London before, but it was for a private event for the Free Speech Union, and they requested me as Angela, so I did that right before Christmas, right before I jetted off. And yeah, I will be doing it again, and I'm very excited about that. That is the 13th of May, and I don't have anything else that I am aware of. I don't have anything before that. There may be stuff after that, but I wait to be invited. I don't assume anything, but the likelihood is I would do Leeds, Comedy Unleashed in Leeds again, if I'm invited. I don't think I would do Manchester because it'd be a bit of a ball ache transport wise. It's much easier for me to get to Leeds. We'll see. Anyway, I am open to, I'm not restricting myself. I did Edinburgh and Leeds this month, which was awesome, and I absolutely loved it. And yeah, and I've got London coming up, so I hope some of you can get to see me in London. That would be amazing. Thank you very much for that. Okay, Unity calling. I won't change the sound. Brilliant. Okay. Oh gosh, I hope people haven't given up and just gone, right. I'm out of here. I can't hear her. She's not listening. Right. Anyway, right. I was gonna drive up to Edinburgh to see you, and Dank missed out on the tickets though. If you do Leeds again, I'd totally be there. Oh, thank you. Well, that would be great. It was a good night in Edinburgh. It was a really good night. Rachel from Accounts and her even duller sister Ellie, they sound bizarrely similar, don't they? Could solve insomnia for many. They probably could. Honesty and Truth. Oh, thank you so much, Honesty and Truth, for coming. And yeah, thank you. It was really lovely to have you along, and thank you very much for your super chats. Really appreciated that. Yes, I answered that. Sis, I answered that. Oh, what is the answer? No, I answered that. I did answer that. Right. any chance of a Kelly Baitman character? I'm not sure I would convince anybody that of that, so probably not. I don't think I could pull that one off, really. Did you ever, Marcus says, did you ever see the brilliant late 70s, early 80s American comedy series Soap? The main character called Jessica, a nutty middle-aged redhead Billy Crystals. And no, I didn't see that. I haven't heard of it either. No, don't know. Right, okay. What I'm going to do, unless there's any more oh god, I have missed a few, haven't I? Derek Press has already put his request in. I think we know who's going to be coming on first then, don't we? I really appreciate honesty and truth. I thought I did answer that question. Oh gosh. Anyway, I really, really appreciate that. Right. Oh gosh. Another super chat from Howard Wood. Thank you for commenting on my previous post. You have made a 72-year-old get very happy. Oh, Howard. Absolute pleasure, and thank you very, very much. I'm so glad that you enjoy all of this silliness, and we need a bit of silliness, don't we? We need to just have a bit of a laugh and not get so bogged down in all of the ridiculousness that is this country. Would love to see your take on the space flight with a parody of St. Katie. Oh my god, yeah, maybe I could have a little crack at that later. I was watching that interview of her and I was like, this is, oh god, this is so, it's so painful. It's so they're so vacuous, these people. They have no foot in reality at all, do they? They're just unbelievably pampered. Right. A few people have a lot of love for soap. So it seems like loads of people are aware of it except for me. Oh dear. Right. Yeah, no, I'll have a look into that. AOC then, or you could go full ghetto, privately educated Jasmine Crockett. Might have a go at AOC actually. A few people have said that you should try AOC. I might do. Why not? Let's see. I find American politics fascinating, so definitely. Right. Richard English asks, how do you develop your characters? Do you start off with the voice and develop the character around it? That's a very good question. I don't really know. With Angela, because I've been doing Angela Raina for ages, and I didn't have her how she is now. When I first started doing her, she sounded more like she was from West Yorkshire, than where she's from. I don't know what was wrong with me, really. I think I hadn't really listened to her, to be honest. Sometimes I'm a bit weird like that, and maybe a bit big for my boots, and see someone once and think that I can do it. And I just hadn't paid any attention to how she talked. And then when I started to watch her more as the election was approaching, I'm like, actually, you got this really wrong. And so it was back to the drawing board. So I kind of had her character, but I didn't have her voice right. And then I started paying much more attention to how she dressed and how she articulated things or didn't. And then eventually something sort of clicked with her, but it's taken a long time to get to where she is now. And she's just sort of, she's away and where I needed to be, if that makes sense. That doesn't make sense. But it took a lot of work to get her to what I've got her to now, and which is why, when I do bring other people in, And people are like, oh, I prefer Angela. I was thinking, well, you've seen her for 2 seconds. Give me time, because it took a long time to get Angela to where she was, and that's how it is with me. I enjoy trying new characters, and I have discussions with people. Some people will come into my comments and say, oh, I don't like it when you do Angela all the time. And then I'll do a different character, and then equally I'll get people and going, I only came for Angela. I'm saying that you can't please everybody all the, you just can't. People will, like what they like and not like what they don't like, and it's just how it is. There's not much I can do, but I do like bringing in new. I don't like playing the same characters over and over again. And as much as I love playing Angela, and I do, she makes me, whenever something happens with the Labour Party, I'm like, oh my God, come on, there's something here. Or whenever she does something, or there's an awkward interview, or there's something, I'm rubbing my hands together, or there's a ridiculous photograph, I'm like, oh my God, there's something here. So it is fun to do, but at the same time, I need to keep what I'm producing for my channel fresh and interesting, so people don't get bored and switch off. So I try and bring in new characters, which is why I brought in Carol this week, because I think Carol is extremely relevant at the moment. The DEI training officer. I think Carol can train everybody, not just NHS. I think she's going to train a lot of people. So I'd like to explore where Carol's going to go, because that's kind of fun. Right, where are we? Everyone's talking about soap in the comments. I love that you all talk to each other, by the way, that you come into my chats and you all chit chat with one another. I think that's really, really good. It's a community. It's all about community at the end of the day, isn't it? So where are we? Oh, I'm just going through that, and then one pops up. Hi, Stephen Young. We thank you for years of entertainment, Jen, from Stephen and Trina, now being and trying to be self-sufficient on the Scottish borders. Please, could you do Physic LG? Issues a complete. Who's that? Who's that, Stephen? Physic LG. And what am I missing? Thank you, Stephen and Trina. And Stephen, you have been with me for a long time, haven't you? You've followed this channel for a long time. I really appreciate that. Who is that? Stephen, tell me who that is, because I don't know who you mean. Maybe I'm being a bit thick, but please come back and tell me who you mean. I would appreciate the guidance. But thank you. You have been there for so long, Stephen. I really, really do appreciate you. I appreciate all of you. The fact that so many have shown up tonight to join me for this is brilliant. I think, do you watch other YouTube channel skits of Ange, asks Steve Bell? No, I don't. No, I don't do that. I don't think that's a good idea. If someone's doing the same thing as you, it's probably best not to go there and watch it. But I don't have the monopoly on it. I mean, other people can do it. It's not really a big deal, but no, I don't watch. Graham, thank you very much. Can you do Gunny, not Gunny, Scottish? Oh my God, I did Nicola Sturgeon. Nicola Sturgeon is trying a rebirth as a 75 Squid Evening with Star. Val McDermott has bought the early ticket so far. Right, I butcher the Scottish accent. Oh God, I didn't do it, Will. So I did do a go and look in my shorts, Graham. I did when she got into trouble, and her husband got arrested. I did a short of her being incomplete, of Nicola being in total denial about it all, and yeah, I really not good. My Scottish accent is as good as my South African accent. Not those kind of shorts, Robbo, and no would be the answer to that. Where you find all the awful clothes for the no-brainer skits? Charity shops. I spend far too much time going in and out of charity shops trying to find the worst clothes I can. I did get, you know, the pink dress that she's been wearing recently. That is Temu. I was trying desperately to find these big, you know, puff sleeve dresses, and I couldn't find them anywhere. And in the end, I just went to Temu. So all of your super chats are much appreciated, because I am having to actually spend more than I wanted to on outfits. So a few items, I think about 3 things have come from Temu. The rest I found in charity shops. Some absolute belters I have found in charity shops, and hilariously, one of the ugliest jackets, which I've got just here for when I do Angela, when I was paying for it, the lady in the charity shop, "This is a lovely jacket, isn't it?" I was like, no. But I'm British, so I went, oh dear, awful, 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 awful. But the uglier the better. Whenever I see an ugly outfit in a charity shop, I get so excited. So long as it's not green, because I can't, with the green screen, it can't be anything green. Right. Right. Yeah, sorry if the adverts come up. I can't stop them on the setup that I've got right here. Like I used to be able to skip them. So I'm really, really sorry if you're getting adverts. Right. Rob says we're all spending more with this Labour government. Aren't we just? Kim, I love Caroline Levitt. Oh, she's just retracted that. I think she's great, actually. I would still parody her though, because I don't know. I find all of it fascinating. Yeah, Derek has just made a very interesting comment here, saying, everybody, only 20 likes, all click the like button. Please do that, because that helps with the algorithms. And if you don't mind, please make sure you are subscribed to the channel. That really helps me. And also clicking like on the videos, even if you've already watched the videos, going back and clicking like, it just helps with this algorithm nonsense. Because YouTube like to throw me in the worst algorithms, where one week it'll just be like down in the doldrums and there's nothing I can do to get out. It's like, yeah, I just fall out of everything. So yeah. Right. Oh, 173 likes. I can't see the likes, but thank you. That's good. That's good. Right. Likes are good. I mean, dislike if you wish, but likes are more appreciated. Thank you. Right. I think we need to start getting into some requests. Oh, the Welsh accent. Asks Moon the Loon 1969. Also terrible at Welsh accents. I used to be much better when I was training. I was much better at accents like that. We did Under Milk Wood when I was at college, and it was all Welsh accents. And I remember I played Mrs. Diebread, and I got the accent down for that. So it's practice with me. Rather than me saying, oh, I can't do it. I can do it, but I need to work at it. So if I work at an accent for long enough, then yeah. Right, okay. Right. Right. Where are we? I text links of your Ange videos to one of my mates who voted Green Socialist on a weekly basis. I'm sure they hate me very much. Hilarious. Oh, Tinderella, excellent. I request your blue-haired Steve character, the reporter of non-crime. Oh, where's my blue pig? I have so many wigs, and I got quite a few out sort of guessing who people might request. And the blue one is somewhere. I might have to dig around for that. I think I can see it. Okay, maybe our Ange could meet Big Ange on the Space Manager. Right. Okay. I think we are ready, aren't we, for me to do a little bit of silliness. And no, I need to. Who wants to kick us off with the first request? I know a few of you have put requests in already, but you're gonna have to come back and shout at me. So let's go. I might leave Marjorie towards the end though, because she absolutely wrecks my throat. Aunt Milkwood is best on the sandwich. That'll be quite funny. Right. Oh, Janet. Oh, Janet, are you from the Lyman days? Hilarious. Right. Michael Hammond has requested Megan. I know some of you absolutely hate the non the non-political or the non-British ones, but I mean she is very, very topical at the moment. Oh no, where's my oh, I found my hat. So I have to have she has a very special hat. Now, fun fact about my Meghan Markle wig, or it's a black wavy wig that I wear. It's actually not black, it's just really, really dark brown. But because of my jawline and how pale I am, I absolutely look like Michael Jackson when and everyone says it, oh my God, you're Michael Jackson. And I can't get offended and upset by it because they're not really all that wrong. I do look horrifyingly like Michael Jackson. Right, I'm just going to grab my wig and put it on. So I'm not having technical difficulties. I'm literally just going to switch my camera off for a second while I sort my wig out. But as you can hear, I'm still very much in the building. I'm still here, folks. Don't panic. We're not having technical issues. It was a deliberate removal of my camera while I fart about with wigs. One second. We're almost ready, folks. It's hard doing a one-woman show. Camera on, camera off. Here we go, Michael. You know, I feel so privileged and honored to be sitting here before all of you today. Just feeling that moment of connection between myself and you, and just knowing that all of the time that I have spent learning on this beautiful journey that we call life, and learning and being part of something that is so beautiful, so big, it builds this incredible momentum just to bring people together in such a beautiful way, and knowing that we can all gather in this wonderful technology that we have, and just connecting. And I know some of you may be asking, you know, you're on Instagram, and how come you don't have all of your comments open? I can't comment on any of your videos, and the reason for that is I have so many haters, and I give them love. I absolutely send them so much love. I care about them deeply. I hope that nothing terrible ever happens to them, and I hope that they have the happiest life. I wish them so much love in their hearts, because I feel as though their hearts are cold, and I can't think of anything worse than having a cold heart. It's just the hardest thing. I mean, I don't live in the cold anymore. I left Britain, I left the UK. I didn't like it. People were racist, but I just feel as though that warmth that I can give you I give to you in the most deep, meaningful way, and planting those beautiful seeds like I plant in my beautiful garden. I'm planting those seeds of love and of togetherness that I believe that you need in your life. And that is exactly why I don't have my comments up on Instagram. But you know, there's so many exciting things happening right now. I know that my husband H is having a little trouble with his charities at the moment, and that is because a woman was jealous of me. Yeah. And it's so hard just to get my head around how somebody could spend so much time thinking about me in such a negative way. And all that I've done, I'm charitable. My husband is charitable, and I am more charitable. And I cannot believe that she has caused so much animosity and suggested that he bullied her. We would never bully anybody. We are good people with good hearts, so big, the biggest hearts. And you know, we speak in a language of love, and that's what we do. And it's a beautiful language, and everybody loves that language, and everybody knows and feels that language. And just knowing that she could not understand that love language that my husband H speaks and I speak, she needs to elevate her life. You know, I'm selling herbal tea on my new store. I hope you've all seen. Well, I've sold out, actually. I've sold out in minutes, literally minutes. And that's because I sell the most beautiful, healthful food. You have to think in a healthful way, in a happy, healthful way. And I just know that I'm bringing so much health and so much love to the world. I actually sent a care package to King Charles, who, you know, I'm going to say it, he did us dirty. He did. And it was hard. It was hard, but because I have that love and that connection and that love for the institution and that respect, absolute respect, I wanted to gift him my incredible fruit spread. That's not a euphemism. That is my actual products that I'm selling in a keepsake box that he can keep for his sake. And it's just a beautiful gesture from myself and my husband H. And I hope that he accepts it with the love, the genuine love that I sent it to him with in my heart. But anyways, I gotta go. I have to go. I need to go and gaze upon my children's faces because I am a loving mother. I have little ones who are little, and it's such a beautiful day. The sun is shining. I'm so happy to be alive. So happy. Just so much love. So much. I have to go anyways. So thank you. And I love you. Definitely. Absolutely love you. And I'll be back. So I love you. I love you so much, everybody. Love you. Right. This is an interlude. Well, no, not an interlude. I shall be back momentarily. Oh, I forgot to put the beige on. I should have put the beige on. Never mind. Next time I shall beige it up. Right, let me put my camera back on. Camera on, camera off, camera on, camera off. Hello. Right. Okay, well there you go. I'll have to now go back into my chat and see what you were oh no, my chat's gone on my phone. Oh, here we go. I've got it back. Yeah, no, she did actually say in an interview, our little ones are little. Our little ones are little. What a ridiculous thing to say. But yes, her ego is off the charts. Right. Let me just go up. Yeah, I know. The jester says, Shimon. I do. I look like Michael Jackson in a really dark wig. It's my jawline as well. It doesn't help, you know. Yeah, Stephen Hall says more word salad than a politician. Yes. I think she's on a journey to the divorce court. Harry is getting a lot of experience of law courts in readiness. Michael, you're quite right there. I think she's going to hang on to him for a bit longer, though. I think she will. Right. Megan, we are with you. We will surround you in a circle of love and high frequencies, and we'll all elevate to a higher plane together like true celestial beings. Marcus, she would love that. Millie says, I am Scouse. I can tell if an actor is a real Scouse or not. One wrong word can give him away. But some of it, I love a Scouser, Millie. I love a Scouser. I used to play a character who was not Scouse, but I deliberately gave her a Scouse accent because I knew, because she was a snob and she wouldn't have liked it. And that's nothing to say against Scousers because I love Scousers. But she was from Cheshire, right? Cheshire. And she thought she was a cut above. So I deliberately gave her a Scouse accent. I love the Scouse accent. It's great. I probably don't do it that well, but right. Yeah, she was a grifter, and she came up with the wildest stories that she used to go and rescue children from underground installations in the UK, and she had a team of marshals. She had a team of, what did she call them? Marine. She had a team of Marines that would come and help rescue. It was absolutely ridiculous, but her followers believed her, so I called her the Great British Turd. Anyway, Great British Turd, I called her. Right. Yes. Right. Who do we want to see next? Who would we like to see? Oh, Richard Frost says Megan for the next Blue Origin flight. Yes. Oh, we'd never hear the end of it, would we? So I went to space, and you know what I did? I made space. As I was in space, I made space for myself, and I just thought about all the wonderful things in space that I could do. And if I could elevate space, I would sprinkle the most beautiful flower petals all over space, just to make it, just give it that, just something so beautiful. Yeah, she would. You'd never hear the end of it, would you? Ooh. Oh, thank you, Millie. Well, if that coming from a Scouser, if you think my Scouse is good, Millie, then I'm happy with that. Very happy with that. Okay, Angie. Oh, okay. Oh, nothing as it seems. Derek, calm your jets, Derek, dear. I will, of course, I will do Angela. But we've got a bit of a request of a character that I did a long time ago. And I'm pretty certain her wig is very close by. So let me just sort that out. So let me just give you a little bit of context for this, because many of you won't have a blinking clue who I am. So I did a character, her real life name is Carrie Cassidy, and she is an uber grifter. She talks so much nonsense, dangerous conspiratorial nonsense, really horrible stuff. She has awful guests on her shows that she does, and she is the angriest, moodiest woman you will ever meet. And she has been visiting a man in prison who was sent to prison because he coerced two teen boys many years ago to commit a horrible crime. Which they went ahead and did because he had some sort of financial dispute with this person, and wanted him out of the picture. Anyway, so he is serving time for organising that, okay? But for some reason, he came across this lady, Kerry, and managed to convince her that he was a space captain. He calls himself Captain Mark Richards. And he has been feeding her this nonsense story of space travel and working with the Galactics for years and years, and she's written books about it, and she claims to believe it, but I don't think she really does believe it. Anyway, she grifts. She writes a lot of grifty books and talks about the galactics and space travel and da. Did she? Chia Maria says that she claimed she was Anne Frank, or rather Anne Frank was her relative. That was it. She claimed Anne Frank was one of her relatives, whilst also platforming some of the worst people in the world, saying the worst unimaginable things, which I won't get into here because it will bring the energy down. But yeah, she never cracks a smile. She's over everything. She's moody. She looks like she wants to kill all of her guests, and she constantly reminds people of what an incredible journalist she is. So let me just go and get that wig, and then I'll introduce you to Kerry Cassidy of I call her show. So she has a show called Project Camelot, because she also believes that she is related to King Arthur. So she claims, and so I did a fake show called Project Not a Lot, because she basically talks not a lot, really. Well, she says a lot of things, but she doesn't really say anything at all, if you see what I mean. So okay. So yeah, Kerry Cassidy. Hold on. Okay, all right. Hello. So, I've just been talking to a guest, and they asked me if I could give them anecdotes of incredible interviews that I've done over the years, and well, yeah, of course I can. I talk to a lot of incredible people who have been, um, on incredible journeys, both off planet and on planet. And the off planet people are the most interesting people, of course, although nobody is more interesting than me. I've been a journalist independent journalist for 645 years. And in that time, I've written a lot of books and talked to a lot of people. And obviously, people know how good I am. And I have no time, none, for anybody's ridiculous nonsense. I have no time for. I need to worry. You need to worry about the Khazarian mafia. That's who you need to worry about right now. That's who you need to worry about. And the Anunnaki have been here for a long time. And I heard that because I went to visit Captain Mark Richards, incarcerated for a crime he didn't commit, in the prison the other day. I'm writing another book about him, and he told me that when he went off planet the other night, and he was working with the Galactics, and they told him that Trump is now off planet. Trump is not here. That is not him in the White House. He has not been in the White House for weeks. He is indeed off planet, and that is why people just need to listen to what I'm saying, because I know what I'm talking about. You can tell it's a clone. You can literally see it's a clone. You can't even, it's obvious. He's nowhere near as orange as he usually is. So, but as I was speaking to Captain Mark Richards, incarcerated for a crime he didn't commit, I knew instinctively that his intel was correct. And I said, well, I already know that. I already know. And, and that is why I'm going to write a book, and you're going to understand that I know what I'm saying. I know what I'm talking about. And I know who the real enemy is, the real enemy with him. And that's who you need to be worried about. And that's what the Galactics told Captain Mark before they returned him to his prison cell. And people say, well, why do they keep returning him to his prison cell when he goes off planet? Why doesn't he stay off planet? Well, that is not what the Galactics agreed. Okay? And don't question. Your questioning shows how unevolved you are, and that you don't get it, you don't understand. Anyway, I have to go. I've got a book to write. I'm going to go. Ugh. Right. So yeah. So that is the wonderful, full of the joys of spring and excitement that is Kerry Cassidy, and yeah, she just Yeah, super grifter. She's quite the grifter. Incredible. Um, and she loves other grifters, and they all just go on each other's shows. It's very sad, really. But people give her money and buy her books. It's wild. Right. Who who cloned Trump? Well, I mean, this is it. But this is what they say. They go on these tirades about this person's a clone, that everyone's a bloody clone to these people. They're obsessed with clones. It's wild. Everyone's a bloody clone. Right. Okay. Right. I think the time has come to bring in probably the character that many of you would like to see. And let me just put my earrings, well, not my earrings, let's put her earrings in, and I'll do that while I'm talking to you. Well, that's a bit weird, isn't it? Ooh, putting on earrings in front of an audience, it's a bit of a strange thing. Can you even see that? Oh, sometimes green screen. I was so annoyed when I did Jess Phillips. My green screen took out those massive hooped earrings. I was like, no, you can't see them. I bought those especially for Jess. Right, I'm going to go and wigify myself. So I'm just going to switch the camera off while I sort that out. It's a delightful sight watching me put a wig cap on and effectively balding myself for Peter Hubbard asked about my Jess Phillips snarl. I snarl far too easily, don't I, with these characters? They make me want to snarl, though, to be fair. Right, just give me a sec, because I've just got to do a bit of fidgeting about with this wig. This Angela wig is getting really, really ratty and needs quite, oh God, it needs quite a good brush, really. Right, hang on, hold on. I'm almost there, folks. I just need to add a little something extra. Hold on. I will be with you momentarily. I could never do a one-woman show. I'd have to have all sorts of little pre-recorded intervals as I was getting changed in and out of wigs. Well, that's what I would do. I've just answered my own question. That's how I would handle a one-woman show. Right. Oh, crap. Where's my thing gone? Hiya. It's Deputy Prime Minister, proud Northerner and basic instinct enthusiast, Angela Raina, and welcome to No Brainer with Angela Raina on a Saturday night. And, you know, people have wondered, hang on, and why aren't you out raving and having a good time? Well, you know, because it's been a bit of a tough week, to be honest. A lot's been going on, and I'm a bit knackered, to be honest. I was hoping that I could go away, and in the end I've had to stay because we had to sort out saving British Steel and all of that. So I've ended up, I was a bit disappointed. I had to cancel my flights. Thankfully it was just an EasyJet, so I was able to fix it up. Well, no, it was non-refundable, but you know, you've got to make the sacrifices, and us Labours do. We do make that's what we're all about. We're all about making sacrifices. So I did, and also I've had to look after our David had a really hard week this week. I don't think I'm breaking his confidence by telling you this, but he's been down in the bunker. He's been having a bit of trouble. He's developed a fear of dangerous 13-year-old white boys, and that's put him on a bit of a downward spiral. So he was already upset about that. I said, just go in the bunker, David. You know, just take a breather, go in the bunker, just chill out, stop thinking about, you know, about the harm that could be done to you by 13-year-old white boys. Don't think about that. And he said he was coming round, and he was going to come out of the bunker, and then the terrible news came this week about what a woman is, you know, defined in law, all dead serious and that through the Supreme Court, that a woman is a biological woman is an adult human female. And he was absolutely bereft, was our David. He was so upset with himself because he, some of you may know, he has been growing a cervix for Eddie Izzard, and he said he didn't know whether he could carry on with the project anymore. He felt, you know, he just didn't know if that would legally get him into trouble. And I said, well, to be honest, David, it's sprouted leaves. I don't really think it's going to be what you think it's going to be. And he said that he was evolving it. But I mean, obviously, it's not what he thinks it is. In many ways, it's not what he thinks it is. So that was a bit of a problem. And I said, David, you're going to have to come out of the bunker sometime. You know, there is, you know, imminent threats of more than just 13-year-old white boys. There's other things to worry about. You know, there is a war going on and that. And he said, all right, he'll come out. He had to come out for the steel stuff anyway. But he's had a tough week, and so I've been cleaning the bunker out today. But dear, oh dear, he's very sensitive, is our David. He did go a bit wild on the KFC. He said it was for medicinal purposes because it made him feel better. It was for his mental health, and it made him feel better. So he has been really going through it. So it does need fumigating in there anyway. So I've just told her, just go home to your wife and kids. And I said, also, why didn't you bring your wife and kids down? If you were worried about dangerous, you know, 13-year-old white kids, why didn't you bring your wife and kids down into the bunker? He said that they were tough, they were all right, and they, you know, they didn't mind. So there you go. But there you go. So that's what I'm gonna have a little look now and see if anyone's got any questions that you might. I have to use these to look at things. Has anyone got any questions that you want to ask while I'm out and about, while I'm around? What's going on? What's everyone up to? And you know, are you going to hang out with your families on this chocolate egg eating weekend? That's what us Labourers like to call it. I mean, we are absolutely, we've had a fantastic time celebrating Eid, and we were just so knackered from eating and having such a good time, and you know, really enjoying. We just, now it's coming up to chocolate eating weekend. I don't know if I've got the energy for it, to be honest. I'm hoping I could go to me some of my relatives and they could cook me a nice dinner or something, but it's all about the chocolate, isn't it? Kevin Brent asks, will you get a trade deal with Donald? Well, it's not me that has to negotiate a trade deal. Our Kia is trying to butter him up a little bit at the moment. He's worried about the tariffs, but I have to say the whole tariff thing has gone to our Kia's head a little bit, because he said to all of us, he pulled us into a meeting and he said, anybody who doesn't watch the documentary Adolescence is getting tariffed. And I said, that's steady on, kid. I don't think there's any need for that. And he said, no, it's a documentary that you all need to understand and watch. And I've had my kids watch it because it's a documentary. And I said, oh, all right, well, you know, I will. I definitely will. And he said that there's a written test afterwards to make sure you have actually bothered yourselves to watch it. And so I know that you have. And I said, right, fair enough. I don't really like written tests. They're not really my thing, but all right, fair enough. So there you go. Which else will you be celebrating in? And one of me Relly's houses. I'm not cooking. I'm not having nothing to do with that. Too busy. So whichever relatives is going to cook a nice dinner, that's where I will go to celebrate chocolate egg eating weekend. Yeah, fantastic. Dear Angela, who do you think Jess, Rachel, or yourself would be first smelt by Joe Biden? Well, which one of us is youngest? Hang on, I think. Am I younger than our Jess? I think me and our Jess are the youngest. I think Rachel's a bit older, isn't she? So he'd probably go for myself, wouldn't he? Or maybe no, maybe our Jess. I don't know really. Yeah, maybe. I do. I think he's fantastic, though. He might come back into politics. He's talking about coming back, and he's such a competent leader. I think he'd do a very, very good job. Right. Who else has got a question that you might want to ask while I'm here? I'm not going anywhere for a bit. I'm going to stay. Oh, I'm going to stay on for a bit and see what's what. I am very, very busy at the moment. I don't know if you know about the little side projects that we've got going on. Me and our Jess have got a side project, and it was all to do with that documentary Adolescence. And I don't know if you noticed that, but we've got Teens Watching Adolescence Together Society, and that is to ensure that everybody between the ages of 11 and 17 get to watch the documentary Adolescence, so everybody understands how dangerous it is for teenagers nowadays to be around so many angry 13-year-old white boys. I think people need to be aware of it. So we got that together because our Jess cares very much about women and girls. She loves them, and they are the top priorities. So we wanted to make sure that everybody, our Keel loves it. He thinks it's a fantastic idea, that people are going to be watching it. So that's a good thing. I've already been, Jay, done that. They don't really appreciate you eating chocolate eggs in there though, so yeah. How many pairs of Brothel Creepers do you want? Quite a few. I like my shoes. And you know, a lot of people slagged me off for them shoes and said they look like clown shoes. Well, that's because they don't know fashion like I do. I've got my finger on the pulse of fashion, and you know, I don't really care. I don't really care what people think of me, to be perfectly honest. You've probably worked that one out by now. Is it's hard to read. Is Jess looking forward to hunting the Easter eggs amongst all the bin bags? She has had a time. I tell you what, I went up to Birmingham, and you know, I had a word with the Birmingham Labour-led council, and I told them straight. I said, listen, just look at this. Listen, you need to understand who is at fault here. And they said, well, who is it? And I said, the Tories. 14 years of Tory failure has got rats the size of chihuahuas running around Birmingham, and it's important that everybody knows that. And they said, thanks, Angela. We do know that. I've had a word with, you know, with the unions and everything, and because as you know, I love a union. I do, and you know, I'm trying to bridge that gap at the moment. It's tricky. It is really, really tricky. But I think people did appreciate my presence there. And, you know, I rolled my sleeves. I put my ivys on and rolled my sleeves up. And, you know, and I did a couple of bags. I did. And I picked up a load of rubbish as well. So, you know, there you go. I work hard. I play hard and I work hard. But I work hard and I play hard. Do you see what I'm saying? So there you go. Are AirPods worth it? Asked Neil. Yeah. But do you know why? I got the AirPods and I claimed them, which I was absolutely allowed to do. Sometimes our Kia, when he's talking, his voice is quite hypnotic, and it's soothing and it can send me to sleep sometimes. So I thought, if I get the AirPods and just put some banging tunes on, I'll stay awake when he's doing his talks. It's hard. It's really, really hard because you don't want to offend anybody. But, you know, that's why I claimed for it, because it is for work purposes. So people slagging me off for it, excuse me, but I don't want to miss anything at the end of the day. And he has got, he's got a very, very soothing, relaxing voice, as you all well know. Right. Who else has got a question that they want to ask? What's your karaoke song? Our Ange asks Richard. Well, Richard, I don't know. As you know, I like a good rave. I'm more of a dance tunes sort of a kid than a sing along. I don't really do, you know, sing along karaoke. I'm the one on the ones and twos. I'm giving it large on the ones and twos, you know, and so no, I don't think. I don't really do singing, Richard. What's your favourite karaoke song, Richard? Maybe you could entertain us all with it. I'm not really a singer though. Right. Are you, Stephen All says, are you going into space? Me? I wouldn't mind going into space, but I'd be very selective of who I chose to go into space with. You know, I probably wouldn't go with Orakia. It wouldn't be safe, because you couldn't have the leader and the deputy leader going up in the same space rocket, could you? We couldn't be in the same capsule, so we'd have to go separate, just in case something, God forbid, would happen to one of us. So I don't know really. I don't know who I'd pick to go with. Probably not Katy Perry, in case she started singing at me. Wouldn't like that very much. Someone who could entertain me, that would be good. Would you go into space with AOC? Yeah, she'd be all right. Yeah, no, I would. Probably would. I wouldn't go in. No, I would not single malt. I would not go into space with Rosie Duffield, because she's a turncoat. She walked out on us at a time when we needed solidarity, and we had done nothing but support Rosie. Nothing but support her. You know, in everything she said, we were right behind her. Right behind her, we were. Right behind her. And the way she walked off, like the way she did it so publicly, she couldn't have scuttled off quietly like one of the Birmingham rats, could she? She couldn't have done that. She had to make a big song and dance out of it. Well, it was a disgrace. It was disgusting the way she. So no, I wouldn't go to space with her, but I'd send her off in a rocket. What about you, Sadik and Lammy up in space? I would not get. No, I've just had to deal with our David in the bunker getting upset and worried about, you know, growing cervixes unsuccessfully for Eddie Hazard and 13-year-old dangerous white boys. And he don't half go on. He really, honestly, that should, if he goes back on Mastermind, that should be a specialist subject, shouldn't it? Growing cervixes, that should be that could be a specialist subject. He might actually win. You never know. Or moaning, you know, or chicken. I don't know. Question asks William, if you went into space, everyone's talking about space. With Katy Perry, would you take a daisy flower or a 9mm if laws didn't apply? Well, I better not answer that question, William. James Bond asks, why do they use Stoner's voice on Celebrity Big Brother? Why do they? I don't know. I've no idea. I don't really watch it, so I don't know. If you could make a law, what would it be? Right, that's a really good question, Gracie. And I think it would have to be that once a day, everybody would have to drop everything for 3 minutes and just have a little bit of a dance. And then they would think, well, I'm happy now. and everything else that we did after that, that might make them unhappy, they'd have all the endorphins from all the dancing around. They'd be up here, wouldn't they? And so whatever we tell them, whatever other bad news we have to tell them, this is going up, that's going up, sorry, that's going up, we're taking that off you, you can't have that, you're going to prison for speaking. Well, whatever we throw at you after that, because your endorphins are being released from having a little bit of a rave up for 3 minutes, you'll take it better. So I would put that into law. And to be honest, if I do become Prime Minister, that is exactly what I'm going to do. Because it's a great way of just passing things through without people getting all upset and going protesting and that. Because we've had enough of that. Had Tony Blair been round your flat, I keep inviting him and saying, do you want to come over and have a bit of dinner? And he's such a busy man. He's like, I'm just too busy and I can't do it. So there you go. What Gracie's come back. That's ableist stand. What if you don't have arms? Well, you just pop your head, don't you? You just do that, Gracie. Look, music can make you do. You don't look. I'm not even using my arms. I'm just going for it with me head and me neck. Who's being ableist now, Gracie? There you go. You see, you can move yourself to the beat, can't you? Without moving your arms. So who's been ableist now? Gracie. So there you go. What if you don't have an head? Cheer there. If you don't have an head, I think you've got more problems than worrying about whether you can rave or not. Ridiculous. Ridiculous. Has James O'Brien been in the bunker? He has, Stephen. Yeah, he has been in. And he was sat with our David. He sang softly to him and he said, he actually sang No Woman, No Cry to our David. And I said that I didn't realise you could sing, James. And he said, well, I can't really sing. And to be fair, I did agree with him on that. But he just felt like when that law came, he said, I'm going to sing an appropriate song. No Woman, No Cry. And David howled along to it like an injured animal. It was a beautiful moment, absolutely beautiful moment. And he seemed to like it in the bunker, which was really, really good. Right, anyone else got any questions? Yeah, Gracie, you did get told. Yeah, of course you did. So there you go. The Jedster says, do you have a tramp stamp? Well, you work that one out for yourself, our kid. I'm not saying anything. When you are the PM, will you jail Sir Keir in the tower? What tower? Where's the tower? I don't know. I don't know nothing about the tower. Have you ever played Snog, Marry, Avoid in cabinet meetings? Defo, yeah. Drunken ones, so I don't really remember who said what, but there is a lot of that goes on in general. Not as much as the Tories. Tories were always at it. They have so many sex scandals to the Tories. It's incredible. Us Labour's not so much. But no, we do talk. Yeah, that comes up quite a lot. Sometimes we play it as like a bingo game as well. It's quite good. Do you fancy JD Vance? No, I don't. He's somebody that I have a lot of respect for because I've been told I've got to. So I defo have respect for him. But I don't know. He's a married man. I know, that doesn't stop people sometimes, but no, I'm not that way. I've got to work with him at the end of the day. I did invite him over for tea, but he's not made it over this way. He does bang on a little bit about freedom of speech and that, which we try and tell him that, that's offensive. Can't say that. But you have to tread quite carefully with the Americans because they speak American and they don't really understand, what we say. So you got to be careful. Would you go on Celebrity Big Brother, and who would be your preferred fellow celebrities? I would, yeah. To talk about policy. I definitely would. I don't know, who would I want to be? Somebody, well, I tell you who I wouldn't go on with. Van Houten. She can do one. As far as I'm concerned, she ruined my holiday to Ibiza. I had a great time, cracking time, went to a club, had a good night. And I did not know that she was behind me like a sneak, like a paparazzi, filming me while I was having it large with the DJ who happens to be my mate. And because of that, if I was in Big Brother and she was in Big Brother, you know, I defo would have. No, I'd say no. I'm not going. If she's going in, I'm not going. She's probably got a secret camera. She's probably going to sneak a camera in or whatever. You know, probably would have done that. So I don't think so. I wouldn't. I don't know who I would have, but it definitely wouldn't be Van Houten after that. Maybe. Do you know what? Maybe who's her ex? Who's Jamiroquai? What lead singer of JK? Yeah, maybe I'd go into Big Brother with JK, yeah, and we'd get along very, very. He could tell me some very interesting stories about Denise Van Houten. Maybe that would be good. What do you think of that? Do you ever think of Boris? What other Stephen Hall? What does that even? Yeah, I think a lot of him. As in, he's an idiot, and he caused no end of trouble for this country. And, you know, Brexit. So, yeah, I think a lot about him, and none of it is positive. Has anyone else got a ridiculous question that they want to ask? Honestly. Do you think Jim Davidson is interesting? I think he tells a lot of tall tales, is what I think about Jim Davidson. You know, I think he needs to get his facts straight instead of stoking up rumours and telling lies. And I think Oakia's got something to say to him if he ever sees him. And a strongly worded letter. He'll start with one of them. He'll omit the kind from the kind regards. And that's when you know Oakia means business. How is Kia? He's all right. He's tired. He's had a little bit of time with his family this week. He's cooked a number of pasta bakes and played a lot of board games. So, yeah, no, he's all right. What is your favourite colour? Asks Derek Press. Labour red. Obs. Look, I've got it on now. Labour red. Yeah, that's my favourite colour. What else would it be? Who's your favourite dictator? Oh, Kia, obviously. When Kia brings a packed lunch, are the crusts cut off? Yeah, he's got a very sensitive mouth, as our Kia. He doesn't like anything too tough to have to pull about with his teeth. So, yeah, no, he has to have and it's mostly cucumber that he has. He's quite plain. He's very straightforward. Sometimes he goes wild and has a cheese. And occasionally a a really thin layer of Branston pickle. And I think, you know, if our Kia was a sandwich, he probably would be a cheese and pickle sandwich because it's very straightforward and you know what you're getting. Do you know what I mean? You know what you're getting. It's very interesting. Right. James Bond is back. Are you the real James Bond? I do like a bit of James Bond. I've got a ridiculous question to ask you, and when will you stop taxing carers? I used to be a carer, so you know we care very deeply about them. So why would we do that? I'm sure that we probably don't. I'll have to check. Do we do that? I don't know if we do. I've heard Branston gives him wind. It does. Don't get me started. If you was an animal, says Bella, which one would you be? I would probably be. I'd probably be a Jack Russell, a dog. I'd be a Jack Russell dog. Because they're their bark is as bad as their bite, I think. And that is me, basically. You know, I'm not afraid to use my gob when I've got something to say. And if I'm not happy after that, I'll sink my teeth in as well. So yeah, probably a Jack Russell. Anyone else got any questions? When you are PM, will you make gingerphobia an hate crime? Asks Steve Bell. Yeah, that is exactly what I'm going to do. I think it is a serious hate crime. We are taking hate crime very, very seriously of us Labours. We don't mess about when it comes to things like that. And to be honest, I think it's about time that we stamped out gingerphobia. So, yeah, absolutely. I'm not afraid of making it an hate crime. It should be an hate. It's racist at the end of the day because, you know, you're judging somebody on the colour. So it is. It's going to be categorised as that. Disgusting. And it should be banned. So there you go. Anyway, listen, I've got to go because honestly, I'm exhausted after a week of David carrying on the way that he has. And he's ruined my chocolate eating holiday. So I'm gonna head off because I think some of me relatives are gonna put on a bit of a do tomorrow, and that's what I'm gonna do. But thanks very much. I hope I've answered as many of your questions as I can. Oh, hang on, a few more's come in. What's your favourite biscuit in cabinet meetings? Well, obviously it's a ginger nut because us gingers stick together. So there you go. That's exactly what it is. When you're wearing big boots, do you wear pop socks? Of course, you have to. You've got to protect your big feet, haven't you? Are you going on another safari holiday? Asked Janet. Might do, yeah. Because I didn't get the one that I asked for in the first place because they said there was no time. Well, I'm sorry, but of course. Why would you not want to go on a safari holiday? If you go into Africa, that's what you're supposed to do. But no, they said no. So I will do. If I get the chance, I will. Have you ever lent Keith any of your dresses? Well, Jay, why would he wear a dress? You know, I think that is very transphobic, what you're saying there. There should be a law against questions like that, Jay. And you are the first ginger... Well, I can't say happy. It's happy egg eating weekend. That's what we say, us Labours. Happy chocolate egg weekend. Right. Who's history's greatest ginger, excluding you? So I think of somebody historical who's ginger, who's done so much good. Prince Harry, he's done so much good as a ginger, hasn't he? Never put a foot wrong. Who else? Who's ginger? Who is brilliant? Ed Sheeran. He's good, isn't he? Yeah. And then obviously I'd have to include myself, wouldn't I? I'd have to. Neil Kinnock. There you go. He's pretty good, isn't he? And a ginge. But I'm on that bombshell. I am going now because it's going to be a big day of chocolate for me tomorrow, so I've got to get myself ready. Anyway, I'll see you all again on another No Brainer with Angela Raina. See you later. Oh, right. I haven't completely disappeared, folks. Hold on. Just shut the camera off for those who've just arrived. I have been delivered a drink whilst I've been doing that. Oh my gosh. Hang on. Let me just put my camera back on. There we go. Oh, in my smug mug. Oh, I'm so sad about the smug mugs. We will get new mugs made, don't worry. They won't quite be as great as the smug mug, but you know. Oh, that's quite hot. Oh, I don't drink like milky tea when I'm working, so I have herbal teas, but it's quite bitter as that. Right. Oh, my throat is struggling a little bit now. We're getting towards the end. No, it's not a tipple. I'm being very good. Oh yeah, Chris Evans. Would she have said Chris Evans? Hi, Kathy. James Crypton. Thatcher. Not doing Thatcher. Are you, when you worked in a care home, you have to wipe up? Do you know what? In real life, I know that was an Angela question. I worked in a care home. I worked in 2 care homes. It's probably one of my earlier jobs, working in care homes. I actually quite enjoyed it. Because I love old people. I love talking to old. They're so interesting, much more interesting than people of my own age. Right, has anybody else got any requests before we are going to Edinburgh? I went to Edinburgh this month. I did Edinburgh. I did Comedy Unleashed, and it was a great night. Circle back. Oh God, what have I missed? Linda says circle back. What did I miss? What did I miss? I hope I haven't missed any. If you've super chatted me and I've missed it, I'm really, really sorry. Oh God, there was loads of questions I missed as Angela. I'm so sorry. I obviously went off on one a little bit. And I tend to, when I'm going off on one, I tend to not read stuff. And it was in block capitals, Richard. I'm very sorry. Right. Oh, Marjorie. Okay. Oh, you're right. Yeah, I did promise Marjorie, didn't I? My throat's just about getting to the end of its tether. You would think I would. I'd have a little bit. I've got a little bit left in the tank, folks. So let me just find Marjorie. And I think I've got her wig very close by. So, oh, I don't know where her high vis went. Oh, bugger! I was when I was getting ready earlier. I said to myself, grab the high vis. I wonder where I put it. Hang on. Hold on, folks. Hang on, folks. I haven't disappeared off. Think happy, tinky winky thoughts. Oh, I can't find a high vis. Never mind. Poor Marjorie. She's nothing without a high vis. Never mind. She'll be back. It'll be in this room somewhere. Right. This is Marjorie with Just Stop Oil. Today I have been with my fellow comrades Gerald, Judith and Diana Pilkington Smythe. We have been protesting on behalf of Just Stop Oil. Now, I know what you might be thinking. I thought Just Stop Oil were giving it up, hanging up the hide. Well, yes, they are. Absolute quitters, the lot of them, hanging up the high vis after how many years of dedication from the likes of myself, Gerald, Judith and Diana Pilkington Smythe. But you know something? I'm not giving up. They said, that's it. We've achieved what we set out to achieve. Wrong! Because at the end of the day, the planet is still dying. And I am not happy about how you can sit back. And, you know, I'm talking to you, Dale Vince, because you seem to have said it's fine. I did call him. I called him and I said, Dale, what is this about? Who made this decision without consulting me? I am the head of the Just Stop Oil mature chapter. Why did nobody consult me and tell me that this is what was going on? And he was very drunk. He was drunk. He was wittering on about USAID, USAID and cut off and Elon Musk and Doge. And what are you talking? What's that got to do with climate change? But something about cut off. I've no idea what he's talking about. But you know something? I'm not going to stop. We've been climbing. Look, I've got this. Look at this. Look at this. Here we are. Here we go. Look. I take this everywhere with. This is how much I care. This is how much I care about this planet. I'm never going to give it up. I'm going to have to make a new. Well, what we're rebranding actually, because when they're giving it up, we won't be. So what we're going to do, you see, we're just going to add an S. We'll just add an S. Just stop oils. We'll just ban the lot, all of it. Olive oil, seed oils, oil of Ulay, the works. We'll just ban the lot, whole lot getting banned. And the planet will be better for it, won't it? All of it better for it, because people don't take it seriously enough. Well, we will, and I will do this until I drop down dead, whether it's when I'm glued to a road or just yelling at people in the street. I'm going to keep doing it. I don't need Dale Vince, and I don't need Comrade Chris Packham of the Really Wild Show. They can just forget it. I'm not in. They're quitters. We're not quitters. I won't quit. I never will quit, and that's the end of it. I'm so disgusted. I'm so horrified by it's the youth. Now, I have to say, I did go to have a little chat with another group of activists called Youth Demand. And I said to them, look, how would you feel about, I know you're called Youth Demand, what about Senior Demand? Could we do that? Not interested. They didn't want to know. Typical is that. So no. So we're just giving it up. We're not bothered. And we'll go it alone. We don't need Youth Demand. We don't need Dale Vince and his money. Although he said it wasn't his, but I don't know. He was very drunk, as I said. I don't know what he was talking about really, but so that's that. I'm not going to give it up. Gerald is dedicated. I mean, he has really come into his own, making his own organic glue. Still not sticking as we want it to, but he won't give up. He is adamant that we will do it organically, and I believe him. He's on the right track. So we shall keep going regardless. I might merch. Maybe we'll do Just Stop Oil's merch. Merch. That's what we need. But I won't give up no matter what. So there you go. Anyway, I better go. Gerald says he's just done a new batch and he wants me to check it out because we're off on a protest. There will be one final protest next Saturday in London. And to be honest, I'm tempted to counter-protest the protest, to protest Just Stop Oil for stopping protest. I think I will. I think that's what I'll do. But anyway, I shall see you again. Don't ever think I'm giving it up, because I will not. Right. Oh dear. Oh. Right. I'm back. James Bond. Has that just come in? I have started a new political party established on it's called the National Carers Party. Logo and website coming soon. You could be my deputy. Oh gosh, James Bond, did you send? I don't. Sorry if I missed that. And thank you very much. Thank you so much. Yes. Single malt says poor throat. Yes, poor throat indeed. My throat has just about had it tonight. True story. I wasn't feeling particularly very well earlier. I went out, I came back, and I was feeling really weird. And I had dinner, I was like, oh no, not when I've got a live stream. The show must go on. So I was feeling a bit ropey earlier on in the evening, but you pull it together when you've got a show. Years and years and years of doing touring theatre, there was no such thing as getting ill. And I remember when I was in Northern Ireland, well, we did the whole of Ireland, and I drove from, oh God, where was it? Somewhere, County Offaly, was it County Offaly? Up all the way up to Portrush, and I felt so ill. My throat was killing me. And it was the weekend, so I couldn't go and see a doctor. And then we had 2 shows to do on the Monday. I did 2 shows and I felt so poorly, and I managed to get an appointment with a doctor, and the doctor examined me and he said, that is the worst case of tonsillitis I have ever seen in my career as a doctor. What have you been doing? And I went, my job. And the bosses that were over in the UK at the time said, you're doing the show. That's the life of an actor on the road. There's no day off sick. So I had to go on stage with a severe case of tonsillitis. Oh my God, it was horrible. Anyway, Peter Hubbard asks, how are your vocal cords feeling now? Not great, Peter. But hopefully this hibiscus tea will help with that. Oh, anyway. I hope, and more to the point, how are your ears after Marjorie? Better, I hope. No, she's gone away. Right. Okay, I think Marjorie, I wish I could have found my high vis. I don't know where the hell I put it. That's really annoying. It'll be somewhere really obvious. I'll be really annoyed when this is over and I find it. Right. I want to say thank you all very, very much for joining me tonight. It has been absolutely awesome. I love it when we all get together and we have a silly chit chat about things and just shoot the breeze for a bit, and then I can interact with you as various characters and stuff. It's always really good fun to do it. We always have a giggle. I want to say thank you to my mods who came in and have been absolutely brilliant. I want to say thank you to the people who have been with me for a long time. I know who you are, and I am so grateful that you've stuck with me through the evolving of this channel and everything, and you stuck by me, and that's amazing. I want to say a huge thank you to those who have subscribed to my channel, to those who show up for my impromptu, guys, I'm doing a premiere of my video, and then suddenly you all jump into my chat. And most of the time I don't expect anyone to. I'm like, oh, it's Monday night, no one's going to be here. And then you all show up and it's so amazing. I absolutely love making you smile, making you laugh, entertaining you. And I know stuff is difficult at the moment. Things are rough. We've got a horrible government. We had a horrible government, and then we got another horrible government. And I will keep making satire of all their hypocrisy, of all their ridiculousness, both sides of the political aisle. For those who've been with me for a long time, you will know that I mercilessly satirize the Tories as well. It's not just been, I cover whoever is in power because they're the ones who the focus is on. But don't think for one second I'm not gonna look at the other side as well, because I do. I will just try and keep doing this for as long as I can. I'm loving riding this little wave at the moment, entertaining you, doing the live shows is fun. Actually getting on the road and standing in front of an audience and doing it as well, I absolutely love. Loving every minute of it. And I will try and do, maybe I won't wait until I get 30,000 subscribers. If I get 30,000 subscribers before I do another live stream, perhaps I'll try and do another one a little bit sooner than that. I think I need to sort out my setup a little bit better if I'm going to do regular live streams, perhaps. But I'm just glad that you're on this journey with me. Thank you so much for those who have sent me super chats tonight. I do believe whilst I have been on that I have received some coffees as well, some buy me a coffee donations. So I want to say very huge thank you for that as well. I love doing this. It is really lovely that you love me doing this. I know I'm waffling again. I'll be back soon. I don't have any more videos to put out until I make them now. That is it. You know, I'm sure this ridiculous world that we live in. There'll be new stuff coming soon. If you can get to London to see me at Comedy Unleashed, please do, and come and say hello to me. And it would be lovely to meet you. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. I'm going to go and rest my throat now because my throat's bloody killing me. Thank you, everybody. And I will see you on the next one. And hopefully I'll get a live stream up very soon. I won't wait until we've reached another landmark. Perhaps I'll do it sooner. You're awesome.